Good evening, my darling batlings.
Yo, yo, yo.
Joining us with an RAPSONG. Yes.
Okay.
I'm joined.
Normal language, okay?
I'm joined tonight by JKR and Chuck.
Hello.
Little update on, realizing that I need a more powerful GPU. I've ordered a more powerful GPU. It should be here tomorrow. Fingers crossed that everything goes according to Keikaku. Translator's note, Keikaku means plan.
No, that because of TFS.
I would cross my fingers if I had fingers to cross.
But for tonight, at the very least, we're going to be using the PS5 version of Doom: The Dark Ages, so my PC doesn't explode.
Destruct.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Transformers tonight, but Red had a conflicting schedule, so I'm rescheduling it to next week. And, yeah, with that said, cross your fingers that your PC works well with it. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't.
All I'm hearing is Coach Z in the background rapping.
Alright. Let's get switched on over.
I freaking love Coach Z's goofy rap music. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so good. In the worst way.
It is.
Like, it helps that it's supposed to be bad in universe.
Yes.
Wow,
Jesus.
you're really bad at this, Coach Z. Why, thank you, strong bad. That wasn't a compliment.
Are you having trouble buying a home or something? Prep no more.
Hi there, Belindas. I'm Sonor Card Gauge for Sonor Card Gauge Mortgage. We can help you get a leg up on the pile. Low rates, percent signs, I don't know.
Bad credit?
No probalo. Home loan, escrow, refinancing, you name it, we got it. Come along down for a free consultation with one of our handsome talking experts. One of them said they'd buy me lunch, but I don't see nobody taking me to Chick-fil-A.
Our car gauge, mortgage, helped consolidate my whole life into this tiny box. Thanks, Sonor Mortgage.
You're every welcome, Valerie. Act now and see if you can stand to talk to me for more than 4 seconds.
Get a leg up on
Let me
the
tell you
pile
something,
and
man.
finance your dreams. Come along down and down.
5555555585555 Sonor Mortgage today. No probalo.
Oh, man.
It was there. I had to do it.
We don't...
I think you broke Chuck.
No, that's just my allergies.
So what you'll be happy to hear about Doom: The Dark Ages is, in addition to your standard,
I want you to think.
in addition to your standard difficulty settings, you can also fine-tune the difficulty within your difficulty setting, like making the window for parrying larger, smaller, adjusting the damage values, like how much damage you take and how much damage enemies take, how aggressive enemies are, how fast the game moves, how long enemies are stunned, how fast enemy projectiles move, and how much health and ammo you recover from pickups. Basically, you can fine-tune it to make it as hellish as you want.
Or make it as easy as you want.
Yes, you can make it play on journalist mode through making everything as simple as possible, as well as in adding on enhanced targeting and empowered attacks, so you can't possibly miss anything. Now, in terms of Doom lore, to my understanding, this is a prequel to the current Doom saga. So it's during the time where the Doom Slayer...
Before Doom Eternal, right?
Yeah, it's before Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, hundreds of years before, if not thousands, when he was still working for the Makers. And still working along the Night Sentinels, and the Night Sentinels were still around. And it also doesn't take place anywhere near Earth. It takes place in another realm called Argent Denur.
I know that Argent means hunter.
Well, Argent is also the name of the energy source that's extracted from Hell in the Doom games.
Huh.
Oh. It was just 2 years from retirement.
Dude, you shouldn't munch on a peasant like that. First of all, you didn't even cook him. And second of all, he's probably covered in filth.
Yeah.
At least wash your food before you eat it raw. Hey, Shadow Dragon.
Hey, Shadow Dragon.
How you doing?
Ooh. And
I will say, if you're familiar with how Doom Eternal plays, this does not play like Doom Eternal. People have compared it more to, in terms of, like, boomer shooters, people have compared it more in terms of gameplay and aesthetics to, like, Quake 1 or Hexen, where, like, it's very melee-focused.
Okay, so this plane of existence has technology. Okay.
Yes. It looks like the medieval times, but they have, like, futuristic technology as well.
Okay.
Oh, it's basically like Asgard almost.
Yeah, think of it like Asgard from Marvel.
Okay.
Except, you know, the gods, for lack of a better term, would be the Makers, these guys. And we don't have the Khan Maker from what I've seen so far. Instead, we have this guy, the Creed Maker.
The village of Colleen is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed, including your Sentinel energy reserves.
You'll also be happy to hear that the
government?
Doom. You'll also be happy to hear that the Doom Slayer has a pet that he can ride in this game.
Ooh.
It's a pet cyborg dragon.
That super BA, dude.
Yes, it is. And yeah, the Doomslayer in this game, he's got this that thing on his chest that's glowing is a tether that they use to keep his rage in check and targeted only towards demons, so he doesn't lash out at you know, the people controlling him.
Oh, so he's under control.
Yes, they use him as basically a last resort super weapon because of how strong and how relentless of a fighter he is.
Okay, so he's basically a berserker then.
He is.
I was just gonna say the same thing. He is a berserker.
He's a berserker, but he's also a one-man army. Like, the only reason that the Makers are sending him in, reluctantly so, is because, you know, the Night Sentinels are outmatched.
Okay, so he does have the BFG in this.
Yes, except it is a crossbow. So it's called the BFC.
crossbow.
It's a BFC instead of a BFG.
I mean, the crossbow is technically the first version of a gun, if you really think about it.
Yeah, but your starting weapon
Technically,
is the trusty shotgun. And I haven't gotten all the weapons yet. But there's a good variety of weapons, and they help it so cycling between, like, you know, shotgun and super shotgun, or like different Gatling weapons is a lot more streamlined. By making it so they're treated as different tiers of the same weapon type. That share ammo, and you swap between the different classes of each weapon type with the press of one button, instead of having a huge weapon wheel. You have a shield now, which is not just used for defense, but also parrying and offense. Basically, think Captain America's shield if it was also a rotary saw.
I mean, technically,
okay,
it was used similarly to that at one point.
So basically, it's a scroll
Cap.
shield. Gotcha.
Basically, what I'm thinking of is, like, think of it like a mix of, you know, Captain America's shield and Oddjob's hat.
Ah, okay, I see.
Where in the second
a breed of warriors.
in the second level, we get an upgrade for the shield that adds
Sorry.
like chainsaw, like a rotary chainsaw blade to it, that allows us to use as a throwing weapon that briefly stuns enemies by getting lodged in them. And starting off, we've got the shield ram, which is our basic melee attack. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
I'm definitely gonna get this
I was
game.
just gonna say the reason.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Noise. Are you done yet? No,
I'm
kidding.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm kidding. Relax. But yeah, like basically, what I think of when you told me the type of shield, Ari, immediately my mind went to the Skrull shield from Bionicle 2009 with the Glatorian sets, because there was a figure that actually had a saw blade shield.
Okay.
That Chuck, this is what I was referring to. If you look at the picture, Chuck,
Let me take.
you'll have to see you'll have to check out the picture later, Ari, of course.
Right. So another thing you can use the shield for is whenever you see these like circular marks, that means you can bash your way through them.
Nice.
Noise.
And all enemy types will now shoot out projectiles instead of just, you know, certain ones. Well, almost all. Your basic fodder enemies, like your zombies, won't.
I'll say fuck.
When enemies dazed is, you know, you think of it like the glory kills from Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, but these are called glory strikes, I believe. They're just like basic a punch finisher. Your glory kills are safe for mini bosses and boss fights. It's an attempt to speed up the gameplay loop, because this one is a lot more like, it's focused more on giant enemy encounters in large open arenas versus like, you know, small claustrophobic rooms with like boxed in enemy encounters.
So it's kind of like, like Warriors games where you're just mowing down hordes of villains.
Yes, think of it like a first-person shooter Warriors game. That's a good way to put it without just comparing it to other boomer shooters. Like, another one that gets compared to a lot is the Serious Sam games, which sort of pioneered the whole like arena-based first-person shooter enemy encounters.
All right.
But yeah, think of it like a Warriors game is a good way to put it. Although, you still have your linear level progression with branched off areas on the sides with hidden collectibles. And you have currency in this game as
that's
well.
basically a Warriors game, though. If
Right.
you really think about it.
The only Warriors game I played is Hyrule Warriors, so my point of reference there is limited.
What are you talking about? The definitive edition or
The original Wii U
or the
version
very
and
first one?
the definitive edition. I had a Wii U, so the first game I got for it was Hyrule Warriors.
Incoming in 3, 2, 1.
Up, time to get our first
Yeah.
new weapon.
Ooh.
Last Warriors game I played was Fate
Also
Extella, if I
Bruce.
remember correctly. I didn't know Fate had a Warriors game. All right. Our first weapon, the Power Gauntlet, which allows us to punch.
Really
Nice.
hard.
Yes, look at it. That looks like it would hurt.
Yes.
It allows you to do
Damn.
it allows you to do a 3-hit melee combo, which, the reason you would want to do that is it causes enemies to drop ammo upon death.
Hey, JKR, looking at this picture of this Bionicle makes me want Bionicle to come back.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people want it to come back, but Lego just doesn't see. There's a whole discussion to be had about why Bionicle hasn't come back outside of like occasional shout-outs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And that like
apparently-
25th anniversary figure that they put out like 2 years ago, something like that. Like no, 20th
Yeah.
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I was about to say, I didn't think Bionicle was that old.
No, it's not 25 years old. It's definitely like
I'm not that old. I know that much. I'm not old enough for Bionicle to have been around for a quarter century. Because I remember when Bionicle first came out.
Came out in like 2001, right?
It was like 2001,
Yeah, it was
2002.
01, Yeah. 2001 was the year that Bionicle actually hit store shelves. 2002 was its second year.
So, with a lot of the lighting in this game, you can see that it's making use of, like, ray-traced, not just lights, but also real-time reflections, which is why this game requires, on PC, a ray-tracing-capable card, and why it's not available on Switch like the other Doom games are, and why there's no past-gen version of it. Because, this is a whole new engine that it has developed for this game and Indiana Jones, which has ray tracing as like a native part of the engine that can't be turned off. And that's proven to be quite divisive in the PC space, because, not everyone's upgraded from like their 10-year-old graphics cards yet.
Yeah. Like, actually, it was funny because the fact is, last night, another streamer that I associated with through Extra Life
How
said
dare
that he was
you.
trying.
Sorry.
I'm only associating him with the fact that we're both the part of Extra Life, but his username is Bob After Dark.
Okay.
But Bob last night was trying to stream Doom: The Dark Ages on his PC, but he ran into problems similar to what you were experiencing.
The same
Artie.
problem that I have, where his GPU wasn't powerful enough, or was like just at the bare minimum
Yeah.
of what could run it.
Like, apparently he needed a better GPU, and he had no idea what a GPU was, apparently.
Based on, assuming that everything goes according to Keikaku, as mentioned before, I can probably recommend a budget-friendly one that's got good performance. I just haven't received and installed mine yet.
Once everything goes accordingly for you, Ari, let me know, and I'll actually have Bob come watch the stream, and you can basically describe what you did if you want to.
Yeah, I can already tell you, if you want to relay it to him, it is the Intel Battle Mage series of graphics cards. Because, Intel's been, a new up-and-comer on the graphics card scene. They were seen as a laughingstock for the longest time, but now they've been putting out stuff that's, on par with the quality you get from NVIDIA at, half to a third of the price point. To give you an example, the specific model I bought, which is the one that people recommend as a good entry level one, the B580.
Okay.
Performance on par with like 4070, I believe. Hey Helton, we got it running this time. Thanks to the PS5. But yeah, it's got performance on par, if not succeeding the performance of a NVIDIA 4070 for $250, as opposed to like the $700 that 4070s go for.
Okay.
And it's also one of the few graphics cards that can stream using the AV1 codec, which means much better performance.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try and relay that info to him once I understand.
Keep in mind, this is also exclusively for
is.
desktop
maybe it's
PCs. They don't make a notebook version.
Yeah, I think he's using a desktop because the dude, he's been part of Extra Life for at least a year now, and he's been streaming for a while longer than that.
Okay.
So, I'm pretty sure he's been around the block a bit.
Yeah. Oh no, we got digitally mastered.
Because you guys were just talking about electronics and stuff for
Yes.
a little bit, so I thought that I'd do it.
All right, so the way you can tell when you can parry something is when the attack is green. You can also customize this to any color you want accordingly.
Oh, cool. Definitely gonna make mine blue.
Neat. I would probably go for like dark purple because, you know, dark.
Well, it's also, you want it to be something that stands out from the regular red attacks. Which is why they go with green.
Fair.
But they do, you know, in the graphics options, you can change the color to whatever you want. I just haven't changed it, because green stands out enough to me, especially from, like, the background.
Mm-hmm.
And melee attacks can also be parried, not just projectiles, but only melee attacks that are in a green aura, or Hell Surge, as they call it.
My God,
Alright, have to use one of my extra lives. They shower you with extra lives in this game on, like, the normal difficulty. Like, from what I've heard, this is one of the easier Doom games. According to, like, Doom Pros. Like, LGR.
That's kind of an oxymoron, because Doom is like considered one of the most hardest games ever.
Did someone say Extra Life?
Yes, someone did say Extra Life.
Good, because I myself, well, thanks. Ari
It's
and
a
I
doggy.
Ari and I are part of Extra Life, which is a gaming guild and charity organization. We, at least in my guild, with the Chicago Guild, we raise money for Lurie Children's Hospital right here in Chicago. So if you want to donate, please click the link here in the chat, or in the cards beneath the stream itself. We'd greatly appreciate it if you want to. No pressure.
Back to discussion of the game itself. When you come across, you know, cultists like this, they're how the demons are getting inside protected zones, because they're summoning them. You can just leave them alone, or as a collectible, in some levels, for like extra challenges, you can gun them down and disable their summoning circle. They were traitors to the cause. They needed to be put down.
That's what they
For
all
democracy! Wait, wrong game.
Yeah, wrong game. It could be wrong game or wrong. It could be wrong game or wrong medium because you know, Helldivers takes a lot of its stuff from Starship Troopers.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least the movie Starship Troopers, not the novel. Because the movie is like very much a parody. The original novel is very just, it actually believes the stuff it's saying. Alright, one sec. Need to take some Tylenol. Nah, just need to take some Tylenol for my tooth pain. I'm seeing the dentist tomorrow again.
Oh. Good. I hope.
Anyway, did you know?
I don't know. Chuck, did you know?
I think he's AFK right now.
Well, shit.
So, we bring back the key collecting. That is very common in classic Doom. A lot of times, you know, yeah, it's used for opening main story progression in each level, but there's also little side areas that you can go to that are locked by certain keys. Like, there was a door earlier that was locked by a blue key, and we now have the blue key, so we can get in here and get our first collectible.
Cool. What we found?
A vinyl figurine of the imp. Hey guys, my computer died. I'll be back on in a few minutes. Understandable. We wait with bated breath, Chuck.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
All right, we gotta destroy the demons to stop the hell gates.
Once he kills the demons, the portals will collapse.
And this is where we start getting into more open arenas with larger amounts of enemies. You know, I'm playing on normal difficulty right now. Higher difficulties increase the enemy count and also adjust, like, damage values and all this other kind of stuff. And, let's see, another thing to note about this game's combat system is for certain enemy types, you can be strategic with...
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. As I was saying, another thing about this game's combat system is you can be strategic with how you target your enemies. In that, like, if you shoot off an enemy's arm, they won't be able to use that arm anymore. So... shoot off both of their arms. They won't be able to use any attacks that use their arms anymore, leaving them pretty much a sitting duck.
Okay, I think I got it, but just in case, tell me again, I wasn't listening.
Oh, okay. Was that a joke or seriously?
No. I was totally joking. It's from the Lego Movie.
Oh, I haven't seen the Lego Movie.
Oh.
I've seen the Lego Batman movie, but none of the other Lego movies.
Yeah, I've only seen the first and the Lego Batman movie.
Would you agree with some of the critical and fan consensus that the Lego Batman movie is the best Batman movie since, like, decades?
It's the best Batman movie in decades?
Yes. Because it got, like, overwhelmingly positive reviews, and you got a lot of fans saying, like, as good as, you know, me included, as a casual Batman fan, saying, like, as good as the Nolan movies were as movies, they weren't good Batman movies.
I mean, I like it a lot.
I would
just don't
like-
like taking it seriously as a Batman movie. I don't know if I can do that.
I would
It's too much of a comedy.
Yeah. I would also say it stops really being a Batman movie once the whole, like, multiversal invasion aspect ends up happening, and then it's like, oh, so we're just not doing Batman anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind
pretty
of
much, yeah.
It was I agree with that. But I do like it. It's a good fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, I have a copy of it on Blu-ray. I enjoy it.
I thought it was hilarious that that Sauron was involved with a Batman movie.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
That and the Daleks.
Yeah, that and Daleks.
Fucking Daleks, too.
I was like, oh, they have to have the Doctor. And did he show up? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
It was just the Daleks.
Not in the Batman movie, but he did. But he did in like the
Lego
Dimensions
Dimensions
video game.
yeah, which was, I think, what that movie was trying to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Emulate?
Like promote, yeah, promote, yeah.
Yeah, because if I remember my timeline correctly, Lego Dimensions was like the game that Lego was putting all their development and marketing muscle towards, because there was like a good 2-year period where Lego Dimensions was like the only Lego game that was out,
made at all.
that was out and got like post-launch support. And now Lego's broken off their contract with Traveler's Tales for making future games.
Yeah.
You know, the people that made all the Lego games since Lego Star Wars up until Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, that was like the last. Was Traveler's Tales involved with that game?
Yeah, that was the last Lego game that they made. Part of the reason that Lego broke off their contract with them is because that game was in development hell for a long time, and
wasn't a very good game when it came out.
Yeah. It is a fantastic Star Wars game. It's not a good Lego Star Wars game.
Yeah, it's not. I agree with that. Because you have to do too much, exploration in all of the different hubs that you have to go to, and it can get a bit daunting.
Also, how it just kind of tries to be like a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta styled action game and a third-person shooter.
It is kind of weird, yeah. It is pretty weird.
So we got our next weapon. This is the Shredder.
Nice.
It's our basic machine gun, except medieval style. It shoots spikes.
I would have thought it'd shoot the foot.
Nice.
I thought it would at least shoot. I thought it would shoot a foot at least.
Nah, if you're talking about the Foot Clan, Shredder.
Oh.
If you want to talk about, we do have a weapon in this game that is powered by a specific body part, but we'll get it in one of the coming levels. It is a gun that uses crushed up skulls as ammo.
Oh shit!
Damn.
So shrapnel made out of skulls. I like
Yes,
it.
it's a spread gun that fires crushed up skulls. It's called the Pulverizer.
Skull Rapnel.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Did you
apologies
see that
in advance to Doom fans for my shitty gameplay here. I have not put much time into this game. I'm still trying to learn how this game's gameplay loop works, because it's very different from older Doom. I'm also just not very good at Doom.
What were you saying, Chuck?
Oh yeah. I wanted to say this earlier. I'll tell you what I was going to tell you later, JKR.
Okay.
I wanted to say that The reason I think that this game looks so cool is because it's literally just Lord of the Rings with futuristic technology.
Yes.
That's what's so cool about this.
We also get to pilot a giant mech.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Didn't you say that that's like his pet that he...
No. The
that he
dragon,
rides
you get to pilot the dragon and the mech.
on? Ooh.
Like, you know those giant mech suits that were seen in the backgrounds of some stages of Doom Eternal? We get to pilot one of those.
Ooh. Nice.
Tier 5 reading to the South Bay. Incoming.
And JKR, what I was going to ask you is, did you see the picture that I sent to the chat of Bee and Wasp?
Yes, I did. That was actually pretty cool. I want to get my hands on a Wasp figure. Just haven't had the money. I'm kind of broke at the moment because I ended up overdrawing my account over the weekend. So, like on Friday, I woke up and found my account was in the negative. So I'm like, yeah, best fix that and not spend anything over the weekend. I mean, I did spend like $11 for soda, but that was, that's because it was Wild Bill's soda. I had
$11 for a soda bottle?
Well, it was Wild Bill's, so
it wasn't a bottle. And it's not even a bottle. Like, here's the thing: $11, and that was the exhibitor rate. So, like, that was a discount for exhibitors. And since I worked with Extra Life, I typically got exhibitor privileges. But basically, what happened was Wild Bill's has like these. They're like metal cups, and I bought one 2 years ago with the lid, straw, and a carabiner. And basically for $11, you get free refills for the entire weekend.
Huh.
So it was more you were paying for the cup rather than the soda.
I see.
It was basically you're paying for like infinite refills from like Friday to Sunday. Because I had the cup already. They just had to put like a band on there showing it's like, hey, I did pay for the free pass for the weekend.
I gotcha.
And their soda is like really good because they got like so many different flavors and like this past weekend they had like vanilla and orange cream, so I just basically mixed the two together and make an orange creamsicle soda.
Off in the distance,
cane sugar too, so that helps, Matt.
Off in the distance, you can see that demonic titan fighting one of our brethren who's piloting a dragon. And we do have to fight that titan. If there's anything I have to, if there's anything that I have to say is like a mark against this game so far, it's that, due to the fallout between Bethesda and Mick Gordon, he didn't come back to do the soundtrack for this one. So they went with a studio called Finishing Move to do the soundtrack for this game. And while it's, thematically appropriate for a medieval Doom game, it's nowhere near as like headbangingly energetic and like memorable. It's just more like it's more like background music rather than actual tunes for ripping and or tearing. If you get my vibe with that.
Yeah,
like
I'm not feeling that energy from this music.
Yeah, it's also just more standard metal instead of like the really experimental, like heavy industrial stuff that Mick Gordon would do.
Rip and tear? Rip and tear.
Until it is done.
Where is that from?
It's I mean, rip and tear until it is done originates. That specific phrase originates from Doom 2016 and becomes like an arc phrase for the Doomslayer. But the original usage of rip and tear in the context of Doom comes from this infamously terrible promotional Doom comic book. Where the Doom Marine in that game, under the effects of a berserk power-up, is like running around fighting demons barehanded and saying, "Rip and tear! Rip and tear!" With like the most roided out look on his face.
Wow.
It's got some, like, that comic is such a piece of shit, but it's like peak 90s shit. Because, like, it's got, like, your very Liefeldian art style of, like, everything being, like, overly detailed and super muscular, but, like, the anatomy is shit. The faces are mediocre at best, but, like, the dialogue is what does it, because the Doom Marine is the only character who talks, because he's the only actual character in that one-issue promotional comic. And he's got stuff like when he gets knocked into a vat of radioactive waste, he's like, uh-oh, now I'm radioactive! That can't be good!
That can't be good.
Oh
That's where that came from.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
I knew Linkara would say that a lot.
Yeah, Linkara got that from his review of the Doom comic.
That explains so much.
Of course. Don't you know anything about science? He uses that one a lot too.
Yeah, that one comes from Superman at Earth's End.
What's that?
That one comes from another comic that Linkara reviewed, Superman at Earth's End.
I think I remember watching the review that one came from.
That's the one that also
I went on a really big Linkara binge.
That's also the one that gave us the immortal "I am a man."
Yes, yes.
He is a man. Punch. Where's a pretty head?
I am a man.
Oh,
haven't seen Linkara
doesn't look
outside of his
happy.
collab he did with Nostalgia Critic and Spoony back then.
chunks flying off of him.
I mean, Linkara's, you know, he's got his own specific vibe, and may or may not be to your liking his like main content, but History of Power Rangers is a must-watch.
Yeah.
I do need to watch that one. I've heard that's like one of his better ones.
Like, it's considered like the best retrospective review of Power Rangers ever. To the point where, like, people who worked on the Hasbro era seasons of Power Rangers use some of his fan theories as, like, springboards for ideas.
Huh. That's really cool, actually.
Of us. They want assurances, and so did I.
Meanwhile, in the Fortress of Doom... Not that one.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Not that one either.
Beast is tearing through our ranks once again. And still, you continue to be influenced.
Horny.
Outsider. It is not this witch who is forced onto the battlefield against the Slayer. All the power of hell cowering before one man.
Oh yeah, that's another line. That reminds me of another line from the Doom comic. Who's a man and a half? I'm a man and a half!
What?
You are huge! That means you must have huge guts!
What?
Like, it's poetry.
Who was writing this? A 5-year-old?
I have no idea who wrote it.
That literally
it was
sounds like something a 5-year-old would say.
Oh, and like after he says the thing about how he's radioactive and that can't be good, he talks about like how pollution is killing our environment.
Oh my goodness.
Probably the most in-character thing for the Doom Marine in that game, with the context of like how the Doom Marine / Doom Slayer / Doom guy is portrayed nowadays, is that when he comes across the BFG 9000, he hugs it and cradles it and treats it like it's his lover.
Huh.
Which, you know, he totally would.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So all that was just level 1.
Whoa.
There are 22 levels.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like a lot of levels, honestly.
Yeah, that's another thing that I kind of have to knock this game for is considering how
Anticipated?
No, I was going to say, considering that's a $70 game with the premium edition that got you 2-day early access, as well as some skins and the expansion DLC they'll be coming out with later, was $100. 22 levels for people of like the estimate I've heard for like how long the campaign takes to beat is around like 16 hours. No multiplayer. So
really?
You really better enjoy single player Doom.
That's
Yeah, this is this is one of the only Doom games to have no multiplayer of any kind.
Wow.
Like, personally, I'm not too bothered by the lack of multiplayer in any game, unless it's, like, a game that thrives on multiplayer, like, you know, fighting games, or kart racers. But, like, the game series that invented the deathmatch, not having a deathmatch mode, it just sounds wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be like if the next Halo game had no multiplayer.
What you see now is a result of
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, Halo fans would be in an uproar about that.
a mere leak in the
Or like if it did have multiplayer but it was local only.
Oh man. I don't think anyone does that except Nintendo, honestly.
Yeah. I'm saying like just as a point of comparison for how weird of a thing it is.
Yeah.
Up.
I get you.
You getting angry.
So I was under the impression that he was just a normal human.
He is. But he was, like, lore-wise, he's a normal human marine that, at the end of Doom 64, which is now part of the canon instead of just being this weird side game, he was trapped in hell and basically driven to, like, through all the bloodshed and horrors that he endured in Doom 1, Doom 2, and then Doom 64, became single-mindedly focused on serving no other purpose than wiping out demons, and basically lost what bit of, like, humanity he kind of had.
Huh.
But,
He became, like, immortal or something, right?
He's not immortal. It's just that, like, when the Night Sentinels took him in and then he served under the the Makers, they basically, like, enhanced him to superhuman levels.
And he's, like, thousands of years old by Doom 2016, right?
Yes. He was sealed in a tomb by the time of Doom 2016 and opens with him awaking from his tomb.
Huh. So he was like put in like a stasis lock or something like that.
Basically, except instead of high-tech, cryo sleep or something like that. It was a, like, sarcophagus.
Huh. I think it's funny that it has a ripcord.
Yes. It's like you're starting up your lawnmower.
It's like starting a lawnmower.
So yeah, you throw it. It has a little bit of a recharge period, so you can't just spam it. And stuns larger enemies and just rips through smaller ones. And it has other functions as well that we'll see throughout this stage. I just got a notification for something I ordered that I can't read the notification right now because I'm using my phone for tracking.
Oof.
All right, here's one of the other uses for it. With enemies that have metal shields, when they're superheated like this, when they're glowing hot from being shot or pre-glowing like this, you throw the shield at them and they explode.
Explosion! I had to throw the little Konosuba thing in there.
I still haven't seen that after all these years.
I haven't seen it either. I just know the memes.
You can also use it to break superheated metal locks and chains. So it's not just used for offense and defense, it's also used for puzzle solving. There's also sort of like a weird almost grappling hook feature of the shield, where there are certain grapple points that you can throw your shield into, and then you press the throw shield button again, and the Doomslayer will just leap over to that spot.
Oh.
Huh.
Neat.
I don't begin to understand how that works, but I ain't questioning it. It's a different world. It's magic. I don't have to explain shit.
It's magical. With technology.
I call it magic.
Question it.
It's magical technology. I call it Magitech. Totally didn't steal that term from Final Fantasy VI.
I mean, I was gonna say it's techno magic.
No, it's technologic.
Technologic.
Yeah, and I'm a technologic wizard. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot more emphasis on exploration, not just for, side paths, but, for actually getting...
Like Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Not even just Easter eggs and stuff like that, but for, actually exploring the levels to progress through them instead of it just being a series of enemies to fight. Gives you a little bit of breathing room, so it's not just a constant adrenaline rush, which... I kind of appreciate, because one of the things that can make a game like this become very dull very quickly is if it's nothing but nonstop action without any moments of brevity, then the action becomes routine and loses its impact.
Yeah, it's
scarred on you.
Like Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
Where Devastation also had a lot of exploration and little collectathons that you could do and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Collectibles.
Yeah, that's not to say that games that are always nonstop action can never work. Arcade games are built around that. Warriors is built around that.
Yeah. And I like the Warriors games. They're a lot of fun.
But, for a longer experience than your typical arcade game or Warriors game, if it's nothing but nonstop, if this was nothing but combat with without any of the puzzle solving or exploration that's in this game, it would drag on for way too long because it would feel like you're doing the same thing for the whole game. And like a common game design philosophy is like the idea of a core gameplay loop, which is that like your basic gameplay mechanics occur in a like repetition, but a good example of a gameplay loop has like either variance to it every now and then or like breaks in between each cycle of that gameplay loop. Like putting it in terms of like you know, Sonic games. It's like when you play Sonic Adventure, if it was nothing but like platforming stages, yeah, it would feel more cohesive overall, but you would either have a very short experience like we got with like a lot of the 2010s era games, or you would have, or like it would get very repetitious because you're only doing one gameplay type through the whole game. Which for a longer experience like Sonic Adventure was trying to be, wouldn't quite work out. That's why I appreciate variances in gameplay, even if, you know, sometimes, especially in those like early 3D years where there was like a more throw shit at the wall and see what sticks approach to varying up the gameplay, or gameplay roulette as that style has come to be known, where it's just like constantly throwing new gameplay styles at you that distract from the main gameplay loop. Like, I appreciate the attempt to try and keep things from getting stale and dull. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, this game, I feel like it varies it up good enough. Without making things too radically different. When you have variance in your gameplay loop, you want it to still adhere to, like, some core gameplay philosophies. Like, yeah. The dragon riding sections and the mech piloting sections in this game still control, like, the rest of the game, more or less. Just feeling like you're piloting or doing something else, but still feeling like you're playing Doom. Whereas... Hi, Lulu. Whereas, like, you know, one of my favorite go-to examples for, like, bad gameplay roulette syndrome is, the later Jak and Daxter games where like every other mission was some random bullshit that had nothing to do with platforming or fighting or shooting.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got gold now. Now we can go to the shop and buy some upgrades. We can get upgrades for our guns, for our shield, and for our melee attacks. And for certain tiers of upgrades, you can, like, choose between one of two upgrades and swap between them at any time. Like right here for the Shredder, at this tier, we can choose to get the Pincushion upgrade, which applies a Pincushion status buff, status effect to enemies after repeated shooting with the Shredder, which basically makes it so hitting them with the shield makes them shoot out spikes to nearby enemies. Or you can have Ricochet, which makes shots bounce off the shield. But I always focus on, from my experience so far...
is a good idea.
I focus on upgrading the shotgun first, because the shotgun's your core weapon, and it gets stupid powerful with just a few upgrades. Like right now, it's got the Incendiary effect, which applies burn damage, and when an enemy's got burn damage, they drop armor. Which, armor is a very useful pickup to have.
Yeah.
Because the more armor you have, the less damage you're taking.
Remember, kids, wear armor.
Remember, kids, use protection when fighting demons.
That sounds so wrong, dude.
Yes, that's the joke. You said you were wearing protection. I was wearing my armor!
That was one of my favorite jokes from Oh, man. Well, what do you expect me to do about it?
Yeah, Team 4 Star's got a lot of brilliant jokes in it. It's got a lot that haven't aged the best, but the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah, especially the first couple of episodes of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged.
Yeah. Like
I
haven't seen Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, but I've heard Kaiser, Taka, and Lani say before that there's like some parts of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged that they would write differently if they were to do it today. Like one character, I think it's Rip Van Winkle, they said they would write completely differently nowadays instead of making them like a parody of like Tumblr users.
Yeah. I mean, because it's kind of dated that character.
Yeah.
It's definitely dated her for sure.
Not just because it was dated, but because it was a one-note character.
Yeah. The and also the thing about there was this one scene. I'm not gonna explain what it is. You'll have to watch it. There's just this one joke in like, I think it's either the first or second episode with Alexander Anderson. You'll understand the joke that I'm talking about when you watch it.
Okay.
Because it is definitely worth watching.
Like, the reason I haven't watched it yet is just because I haven't seen Hellsing Ultimate. I like to watch the source material before I watch the parody.
I've actually never seen Hellsing Ultimate ever, so I'm
sure, given that it's Team 4 Star, I'm sure given that it's Team 4 Star, I'm sure it stands on its own well enough. It's just, that's how I work. I like to appreciate what they're parodying before watching the parody.
To be fair, I haven't actually watched much Dragon Ball Z. I've only seen all of the Saiyan Saga and like the beginnings of the Namek Saga. I have not watched any more of it from there.
I would recommend watching Dragon Ball Z Kai is just a brisker experience with better English dub. Because like it follows the with some exceptions of like stuff where there was too much of the filler material present in like the footage they had that they couldn't edit it out without like causing issues with episode length. It follows the pacing of the manga rather than how drawn out the original Dragon Ball Z anime could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the jokes about, like, powering up for 10 minutes and, like, Frieza's 5 minutes lasting 4 hours or whatever is from the original Dragon Ball Z, where they padded out a lot of stuff because they were adapting one chapter per episode without having, you know, each chapter be 22 minutes worth of content.
Yeah, it's... It is definitely ridiculous how long the original dub of Dragon Ball is. It's
like there's very brief bits of filler that made it into Kai, like the thing with after Captain Ginyu gets swaps bodies with a frog in the original anime run. There's a filler bit in the middle of Goku's fight with Frieza where the frog swaps Frog Ginyu swaps bodies with Bulma. And that was just so inherently tied to scenes with Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin that they couldn't edit it out of Kai. So they had to keep that bit in, but they shortened it by a lot.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, that was not in the manga, which is why it never gets covered in any of the games. Like, after he swaps bodies with the frog, he's just gone in the manga.
So was like Akira Toriyama involved with Kai so that it would
this was at a point where he wasn't like actively overseeing production of Dragon Ball material. He wouldn't start doing that until Battle of Gods came out, which the only reason he came out of like semi Dragon Ball retirement was out of spite towards Dragon Ball Evolution, because he was like, okay, if this is what people are gonna do without me overseeing shit, I'm getting back in there. Fuck you.
Fair.
Very fair. But like Dragon Ball Z Kai was made without his direct involvement. But what they did was like they took the original anime and they also cleaned up the picture a lot, and because it's airing in the HD era, so they basically traced over the original cells to replicate the scenes and also fix some issues like, early depictions of Vegeta and Nappa being the wrong colors. So their colors are consistent all the way through, and also making the colors look more restored, whereas every time they re-release the original Dragon Ball Z, the colors get worse and worse because the original film footage they're working for is deteriorating. And Toei and Funimation both don't want to spend the extra money to color correct it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, because it just seems that like every new version of Dragon Ball Z that comes out, just like the colors look worse and worse, and it's makes sense.
On Toei's side, they in Toei markets where Toei manages the releases themselves, they work from the original film scans or what film scans they have left, and just scan that into a higher resolution without doing anything to fix the colors or clean up the image. And in Funimation markets, they don't have access to those original film scans, and Toei won't send them their scans of the film to work off of, so they're working off of broadcast tape masters that are inherently lower quality. And then because Funimation has this weird approach to trying to quote-unquote improve the image, they try to remove film grain from the picture without realizing that's removing detail from the picture. And the way they do that is by just doing it through an automated process every time. That makes it look like shit. To the point where it erases details from characters. And in more recent releases, like the Blu-rays that are currently on the market, after they've removed the film grain, they go in and add a fake layer of film grain on top of it to make it look like it has film grain. When it's no, that's not how it fucking works. You can't just add back in detail that you've already erased.
Don't do it, you animal.
And they also, in their attempts to try and color correct it, they instead turn up the saturation, which makes all the all the whites look blown out.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's been up to the fans to do color corrected and high quality remasters of of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, and that's still an ongoing project. But, of course it's not officially sanctioned, so they can't, highly promote that they're working on it. Otherwise, Toei will be like, no, you're making a better product than us and you're giving it away for free. We're going to sue you.
It's well, why not just hire these people? They obviously know what they're doing.
And it's not just with old Dragon Ball Z, it's even with modern Dragon Ball releases. Dragon Ball Super Broly has a different color to it in the home release than it did in its theatrical run, because for whatever reason, Toei, when they sent over the footage to be put on the Funimation Blu-rays, tinted the picture to be more green.
Yeah, no, I realized that. When I saw it in theaters, it was very different from the one that I got as a a digital release. It was
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah, and that also applies to the Boo saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai, which they call Dragon Ball Z Kai The Final Chapters, where that one, they cropped it into widescreen, which means you're missing the top and bottom of the picture.
Hello there.
Which looks like shit. Hey, Kier.
Hello there, kid.
Hello there, Kia.
So yeah, they cropped the top and bottom of the picture to make it fit a 16 by 9 frame, because, you know, it's animated in 4 by 3. Which means, like, there's certain scenes where, like, the tops of characters' heads are cut off because they didn't adjust the positioning of the frame to match for the stuff that was cut off. That's also on, like, the old Dragon Ball Z DVD releases in the infamous orange bricks that are still available, are the cheapest way to collect the show, but is also the worst way to watch it, because, like, Funimation, for their release of that, cropped everything to 16 by 9 and blew out the colors and removed the film grain without adding an extra layer of fake grain on top of it, so it just looks like absolute ass. I ate too much seafood. Sorry to hear that, Kier.
And like you ate well. I love seafood.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a seafood person apart from calamari.
Yeah, I'm Norwegian. It's in my blood to eat seafood.
I've got some Norwegian in me. It's more so like I didn't grow up eating seafood, so my palate hasn't adjusted to like seafood.
I used to live in Seattle, and there's a huge fresh fish market.
I also can't
in
stand
that
the
area.
smell of fish. Like, as part of my autism superpower, I'm super sensitive to smells, to the point where strong smells can overwhelm me and make me sick.
Really?
Yes.
That kind of sucks because fish is really good.
Oh, I totally agree. It's very good.
Well, you're a pescatarian, that's why.
But, like, going back to, like, the, picture quality of Dragon Ball Z Kai's, Boo saga, like, not only did they crop it to 16 by 9, and that wasn't Funimation's doing this time, that was Toei that did that, and then sent it over to Funimation like that. They also tinted the picture green for some reason. And it's noticeably green, even if you don't have a side-by-side comparison.
Oh yeah, the Super Broly movie? Yeah. Yeah.
No, not even I'm talking about, the Boo saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai. The whole season is like that.
Oh, okay. So Super Broly isn't the first time that Toei has done this, then?
No, I'm saying, like, Toei, it's a continuing trend that Toei sends it to Funimation pre-fucked up.
Man, that sucks. And Funimation isn't able to color correct it?
Because like, dubbing is a very, like, as, you know, dubbing studios don't usually go into, processes of, like, fixing image or color correction, because that's extra time and work and money that needs to be spent when these things need to be out as quick as possible. And that's not just a Funimation problem, that's just an entire industry thing. It doesn't just affect anime, it affects, Western cartoons, too.
Really?
Yeah, like, an example that I saw recently on, like, you know, a compilation or, like, a page about this kind of stuff. Some of the Looney Tunes stuff that airs on MeTV in the Chicago area, has incorrect colors due to film degradation of the sources that they're using for their broadcast. Like, there was a, Sylvester cartoon that was used as an example that has that like is in higher quality than what was on the DVD releases because it's sourced from a film print instead of like a videotape copy, but the colors had degraded, so it has a much more purple color to it.
Huh.
Interesting.
And
yeah, that's a bit
like
weird.
One of the more infamous cases of is Disney actively going in and reanimating stuff frame by frame for more modern releases and fucking with the colors of stuff. Like, the one that pisses me off as one of my childhood favorite movies is, like, if you look at the old, like, 80s and 90s VHS releases of Cinderella versus the, like, anything from 2003 onwards, they changed the colors of the entire movie just so Cinderella's dress and hair would look more like it does in the Disney princess marketing stuff.
Really?
Her hair and dress were not always... Her hair was not always blonde, and her dress was not always, blue. In all releases, including the original theatrical release up until the remastered edition 2003, her hair was more of like more of a sandy brown color, and her dress was silver.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I remember watching a VHS. Her dress was like kind of a silver color.
Yeah, Disney actively Mandela affecting people just so it looks more like the toys.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Or
I guess I'm just so used to, well, because I'm younger than you guys by 3 years, so
yeah,
it would make sense that I'm more used to the blue dress.
Yeah.
And you guys would probably have more memory of her having a silver dress with sandy blonde hair.
And it even gets to cases like Lion King VHS releases from like the late 90s onwards have gone back and reanimated entire scenes from the theatrical version, so they no longer look like they did when it originally looked in theaters.
Yeah.
Just giving you more reasons to hate Disney, basically. But it's an industry-wide problem, not exclusive to them.
Yeah, no, like, one thing that Disney did to one of my favorite Muppet movies is that they removed an entire, like, musical sequence.
You're talking about Muppet Christmas Carol, aren't you?
I am. That really ticked me off, because that was one of my favorite song scenes, and it makes, like, because we go from seeing Gonzo and Rizzo just being normal to seeing Belle walk by them and Rizzo is crying, and it doesn't make much sense unless you had seen that whole song sequence.
Right, Cat Icarus, great YouTuber Cat Icarus.
I like him too.
He is so up in arms about that change that was like never reverted in any release since, that he went in and ripped he ripped the footage from the Blu-ray copy so he could have it in HD, and then spliced in that musical sequence from an older release, and then burned it to a new Blu-ray so he can have his own personal definitive HD edition of A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Good on him, honestly. Good on him. Because, honestly, Disney needs to... I don't know why they removed that song sequence. It makes no sense.
Yeah, like I said, it's not just a Disney problem, just like, color correction isn't just a Toei problem. Yeah. It's an industry-wide thing. Like, James Cameron's gotten particularly infamous for, like, newer Blu-ray and streaming releases of his movies looking like absolute dog shit. But, like, he personally tells them how to, go in and correct the image, and in the process fucks everything up. Like, dude, you're ruining your own movies.
The Terminator is especially bad with that.
Oh, the most recent release of his most recent like 4K Blu-ray releases of, I think it was like The Abyss and one of the Alien movies. Can't remember which one. They not only did their usual
Aliens is the only one he
Aliens. Aliens and The Abyss, which it was a big deal for The Abyss because this is the first remaster it's gotten, proper remaster it's gotten. I'd put proper in quotes because like not only did they go in and do the film grain removal that makes everyone look like they're made of wax, but they also, instead of like scanning it from the original prints in 4K or like 8K and then putting it onto a 4K Blu-ray, which like typically when you're doing these HD remasters, you scan it in at least double the resolution of what you're putting on the disc. So, because like it's easier to compress image quality down than it is to scale it up. Like it's
Shadow Dragon. I don't know.
See a Shadow Dragon.
Have a good one, Shadow Dragon.
But like they AI upscaled both of those movies for their 4K Blu-rays. And didn't do any manual cleanup of them. So there's parts where like people's faces look unnatural. Or like text that should be readable is like smeared into incoherent glyphs.
Oh no. Oh no.
Probably the worst
horrible.
case of AI upscaling being used as a lazy way to remaster a movie recently is the Daft Punk anime movie Interstellar 5555. You know, the one for their Discovery album.
Oh, is it the one with that Leiji Matsumoto?
Yes, the Leiji Matsumoto, the one that he did the character designs for. The recent 4K release was entirely AI upscaled, and it fucks up the character designs so often in really, really noticeable ways.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because those are some beautiful animations.
Yeah.
It's like some of Leiji Matsumoto's best work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Space Battleship Yamato fan.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me, even though I never would have guessed that about you.
Really?
I can't put my finger on why. It's just I hear that I'm like, yeah, for some reason I can't begin to explain that tracks.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I like Speed Racer, and it's like in the same vein, kind of like the classic cartoons are kind of in the same vein of like hokey space opera and just like it's stilted lines that are just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like just like old style English dubs from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Especially those old style English dubs where they were trying to hide that it was even dubbed in the first place.
Yes.
Or that it was even like a foreign made show.
Yeah, because back then it wasn't even called anime in America. It was
They called it
animation, right?
Yeah, Japanimation.
Which is kind of a weird name for it.
Yeah. They wouldn't start calling it like anime in the West until like the 80s, and even then that was more so a term used for like the OVAs and more adult oriented stuff, like Akira and seminal OVAs and movies like that.
Studio Ghibli.
Like even Studio Ghibli stuff, it didn't Studio Ghibli was we didn't start getting Studio Ghibli stuff in the West properly until like the 90s because the first attempt at releasing a Studio Ghibli film in America was handled by I can't remember the name of the studio, but it was a studio that was founded by B-Movie King, may he rest in peace. I just found out yesterday that he died, but he died like a year ago. God, why am I forgetting his name? It's not Lloyd Kaufman, it's, God, this is gonna bug me. He directed the original Little Shop of Horrors, he did the Poe cycle, Sharktopus, lots of, like, really cheap...
I'm looking it up now.
Movies. Like, not the musical Little Shop of Horrors, the movie that the musical was based on. My film historian self is angry at my shit poster self for not remembering his name as I'm talking about him.
That movie came out in 1962, right?
Yes.
Oh, sick.
He might not have been the director, he was often a producer.
Okay. Roger Corman?
Roger Corman, yes. I knew it started with an R. Yeah, Roger Corman's distribution studio for, like, artsy-fartsy foreign films that did, like, distribution for a lot of, like, art house films, but also, like, after he left, so it wasn't his fault. They distributed a heavily fucked up and cut down version of Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, where they tried to re-edit it and redub it to try and make it seem more like Star Wars for some reason.
I mean, that's a take.
And they
called not a good one.
And they called it Warriors of the Wind. And it pissed off like, you know that Hayao Miyazaki is notably very much a curmudgeon, right?
Oh yes, oh yeah, I definitely know that, and he hates it when people mess with his stuff.
That was the movie that prompted him to do the famous thing of, like, when the next studio tried to dub and release his next movie. I believe it was Princess Mononoke or something like that, or My Neighbor Totoro. One of them. He sent along with you know, the footage. He sent along a note attached to a katana that said "no cuts." And it was all because of Warriors of the Wind being such a hack job of one of his movies.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, one of the things about the Disney English dub is I had no idea that the quote unquote prince character that Nausicaa becomes friends with was played by Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, young Shia LaBeouf, because he was a Disney Channel star at the time.
Mm-hmm. Even Stevens, I remember.
Even Stevens, Holes.
I love Holes. That's such a great movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch Even Stevens, but I loved Holes to the point where I named one of my childhood dogs after Stanley Yelnats.
That's cute.
Alright, here's where the grappling hook thing comes in. You see that rotting corpse up there dripping green goo and giving off a sickly green aura?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Throw your shield at it. Yoink!
Ooh.
Oh.
So it's like a grappling hook.
Yeah, that's another function of the shield.
That's super cool, dude.
Like, I like that for what could have been such a boring utility item like a shield, they gave it so many practical uses.
Yeah, I mean, just shows the creativity of the team that worked on this game.
Yeah, id Software is known for finding new ways to make combat engaging and traversal engaging. As well as, you know, generally being pioneers of new tech in the video game industry.
Did these guys work on the Ratchet and Clank game
No.
by any chance?
No, that was Insomniac.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but it's kind of gives me those kind of vibes where they like the upgrade system kind of works like the same. Gives you multiple weapons to work with.
Yeah, that's because the Ratchet and Clank series was trying to like merge together. Okay, I'll have some coffee. It was trying to
Coffee.
It was trying to merge together like a frantic shooter and a mascot platformer.
Huh. Even the original games?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that like Ratchet and Clank has been around for like
First game came out in
years.
2002.
Yeah. And like I only started getting into Ratchet and Clank when the remake came out, and that was years after it came out too.
Yeah, that was my first Ratchet and Clank as well, and I didn't start like actually getting into the series until like the past couple of years. I would say if you're going to get into Ratchet and Clank now, there's not really a reason to play the original Ratchet and Clank. It's not just, you know, dated gameplay-wise, but the tone of it, story, and characters is very, very off compared to what Ratchet and Clank would become. Ratchet especially is just an unrepentant, unlikable jerk in the original Ratchet and Clank.
He's so likable in the remake.
Yeah, that's one of the things the remake did, was they tried to soften his character a lot, because in the original, he's not like, oh, I want to be a hero. He's like, I just want to get off this dirtball planet and go on adventures.
Okay, so they just made him the edgy teenager. I gotcha.
Like, part of it is because, like, the story was literally the last thing that Insomniac worked on for the original Ratchet and Clank. I'm not joking. They made the levels first, and they just made up an excuse plot to tie them together without a proper writing staff. They didn't hire a main writer until the third game.
Huh. Really?
Yes.
Oops. You broke it.
That's a choice.
And that's why the third game has such a notably better story with, like, a villain that you actually give a shit about. Which is also the introduction of Dr. Nefarious.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So Dr. Nefarious wasn't introduced until the third game?
Yeah, the first game is just Chairman Drek, and the second game is Captain Quark as the main villain.
Which is kind of weird, because Dr. Nefarious was in the first remake game, right?
Yeah, he was in the remake game because you know, Chairman Drek's a very boring villain.
He is. He's
so they added Dr. Nefarious in there as part of of the remake story to try and liven things up a bit. So it's not just because, like, Chairman Drek's whole goal is just, I want to
yeah, he's your stereotypical.
He's just a corrupt businessman trying
businessman.
to.
Yeah,
he's a corrupt businessman trying to create a new homeworld for his people, the Blarg, so he can sell land on the new home planet, and then ruin that home planet through the same industrialization that ruined their original home planet, so he can then build a new home planet after that one gets ruined and sell more land, rinse and repeat the process ad infinitum, because he is the most corrupt of corrupt businessmen. He makes Mr. Krabs blush.
I was about to say, That would definitely make Mr. Krabs blush.
Hi, Billy Mays here. We did not order. Up high.
Welcome back, Helton, if you are just rejoining us. Make this longer. I mean,
Can we at least just sit
I mean, what I did was I split this scene into 2 redeems, which is why this one's so short. This one and the Billy Mays threatening you are 2 parts of the same scene from that YouTube poop.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about that actually.
Yeah, I was just responding to Helton saying. Yeah, we can watch it after we're done with this. Yeah, I was explaining that to Helton because he really likes the Billy Mays and Walter White redeems. Because he, to my understanding, Breaking Bad is very popular in South America and Central America.
I mean, it is a really well-written show.
Oh God,
I just haven't watched
Billy
it.
Mays threatening us to the dulcet tones of John Dacre.
I want your truck to look really good. Watch this.
Totally accidental.
In one easy motion. And I'm gonna cover your brake
God damn it, Kier.
Kier, you created an accidental masterpiece.
It's a Maury.
What's better than ripping and tearing to fucking John Dacre?
Ripping and tearing to the sound of to John Dacre while Billy Mays threatens to cut your brake line and shove his feet so far up your ass that you're going to need to remove it with surgery guaranteed.
Ari, you're low on health, just so you know.
Yes, I noticed.
Good you notice.
You guys Americans think we Brazilians are all equals, like, think we like Jet, Chives, Chaplin, Breaking Bad, everybody hates Chris, well, you're right. Don't forget El Chavo del Ocho. Or am I getting my, like, very specific stereotypes wrong? Oh, Chavez means El Chapo del Ocho. I didn't know that. Keep in mind, I don't, you speak English better than I speak Brazilian Portuguese. I will say that. I did not study very much, Spanish or, Portuguese in my time at school. I studied French.
You studied French?
Yes, I did.
Huh.
My name is John Dacre.
And now Hex comes in with more John Dacre. Hello.
God damn it! I saw you were streaming earlier, dude. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to drop in and say hi.
So this particular enemy we're fighting, I believe this is a mini-boss. So, it's not susceptible to being stunned by our shield. But when you kill these mini-bosses, you get, depending on which mini-boss it is, you get upgrades to, like, your health, armor, or ammo. So this is how you increase, like...
Dacre guy.
He's a guy that he was a Chicago native, apparently. Alright, so we killed him, ripped out his heart, and now we get an upgrade to our max health. But John Dacre he was a Chicago native, he was a man of God. Oh god, Kier redeemed another John Dacre, after this one finishes.
Oh no. I think you're gonna have to up the bit cost on that.
No, it's just because Kier stockpiles bits.
Oh, it's the mech.
Yes. But John Dacre, he was a man of God, given that this famous audio of him comes from like a church talent show that was broadcast on public access.
John Dacre.
The reason he's singing so poorly... There we go. The reason he's singing so poorly and skipping over words is because the piano player for the church was very bad at leading, like giving people their cues for when to start singing and keeping a good tempo that's appropriate to the song. So she, like here, she's not giving him a good intro and she's playing too fast.
Oh man.
And he's trying his hardest to keep up with her.
He's trying his hardest.
Bless his heart. He passed away a few years ago, but he was aware of his internet fame and embraced it.
Well, at least he has a good sense of humor.
Yeah. He was also apparently like legend
when he recorded this.
I have no idea, but I know he was in his 80s when he passed away. Like, I don't know how old he was when he recorded this, because I don't know what year this public access show came from. Like, there was a whole website dedicated to finding information about him, and one thing that they found was that he was apparently an avid chess player, and not a very good one at that.
I mean, if you like something and you're still not good at it, but you like it anyway...
Like, hello, also fuck Pitchford. It's always fuck Pitchford hours in these parts. Fuck Randy Pitchford. Not for anything in particular, just fuck him in general.
No.
Okay.
Like, John Dacre there's records of John Dacre entering local chess tournaments and coming in last place every time. So this is the stage where we get to pilot the mech, or, trying to remember what it's called. They'll say it here.
It's like a dreadnought or something like that?
No, it starts with an A, I believe. An Atlan.
Atlid?
Atlan. Like Atlas? Like an adjective version of Atlas. Atlan. A-T-L-A-N.
Huh.
That big fat one?
Huh.
Yeah.
Also, would you like to know what the fans have taken to calling this design for the Doomslayer, given that he's got, you know, that big, like, mane of hair that he's wearing as an accessory? You know, that like, bear pelt or whatever it is. Because of the way it looks like it's kind of hair coming out of his helmet, people have taken to calling him the Mullet Slayer. Which, that specific name comes from an alternate skin you could get in Doom Eternal as DLC called the Mullet Slayer, where he was, like, redesigned to look like someone that lives in a trailer park.
That's an interesting design philosophy.
Like, a lot of the alternate skins in Doom Eternal are kind of shitposty. Like, my favorite one that I actually bought the DLC for is called the Cosplay Slayer. And what
does that do?
It's based on the original Doom Marine armor from, like, Doom 1 and Doom 2, but it's made to look like it's made out of cardboard and plastic and tinfoil.
That's funny. It's funny.
And you get a custom emote, like, battle entrance emote for it, where, like, it's supposed to be a version of, like, the taunt where he extends the knife from his gauntlet. From his forearm, except, like, he's pulling it out by hand because there's no spring load for it. Hey, Timo! How you doing?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, the Cosplay Slayer is my favorite skin and, my favorite deals.
So funny.
Shut up.
So hilarious. Ha ha, chuckle. The heck is that?
We're playing. He's playing Doom Dark Ages.
We're ripping and tearing in a giant mech.
Hola.
Hello.
Ciao.
So did you hear about that controversy between the AI voice for...
Hold on.
Got out of a small funk by making emotes. I'm glad to hear that. I would also love to see them. A fan who expressed concern about the prospect of paying $80 for Borderlands 4, and here's what the wanker said to the fan. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Yep, that tracks for Randall S. Pitchford. Remember when it was found that he had, like, some illegal, naughty stuff on, like, a hard drive or a flash drive or something, and, like, no criminal charges came out of that, and no investigation was ever made into that? That's weird. It's weird that that never led to anything.
It's weird.
If you say so.
Well, he does say so.
I do say so because I think it's weird that, like, it was a story that was all over gaming media from a couple years ago, and, like, no criminal investigation was ever made about Randy Pitchford apparently having, like, a flash drive full of, like, CP on it.
Is he famous?
Randy Pitchford is the head of Gearbox and the creator of Borderlands.
Yeah,
so
that's why
he's not famous, but he's like video game industry famous. So not like on the same level of protection as, like, you know, a Hollywood celebrity.
Dimensional barrier is shutting down. We can't stop it.
Oh, that's a great emote. I love it. For some reason, you don't have access to your own emote, to your own bid emotes. Weird. That is weird.
It's very weird.
Speaking of USB, Kojima told his team when he died he left them a USB stick of good ideas for games. That's such a Kojima thing to do. Speaking of Kojima, this weekend we're going to be playing an early Kojima cult classic, Snatcher, for the Sega CD.
Wait, Kojima is dead?
No, he's saying for when he dies.
Oh, I was like, I was confused there for a second.
It's like that famous line from one of my favorite rap songs, Jesus is the one, I got depression. R.I.P. Betty White, she ain't dead, but for when she dies, because I know it's coming.
It's all coming for us one day.
So what's better than giant mech ripping and tearing with his bare hands? Giant mech ripping and tearing with a twin Gatling gun that is scaled to his size.
That thing must be huge.
Yes. Like, I've seen some complaints about, like, oh, it doesn't feel like you're really controlling a giant mech. It feels like you're controlling the Doom guy, but you move slower. I look at it like this. This feels like you're on the set of a Godzilla movie, or Pacific Rim if it were made with practical effects, because it's like, this feels like you're going around like a miniature set, fighting people in latex suits. In like foam latex suits, like you're
honestly
in a kaiju film.
Better. That fit Pacific Rim fits better because like this is kind of like following the same kind of design aesthetic as like as the director of the first film. What can I think of his name right now? It's something Del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro, yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, it doesn't feel like you're controlling like an actual like several 100-foot tall mech, but it does feel like you're in a kaiju movie and you're stomping around a miniaturized set that is in scale to reflect how big you're supposed to be. And I love that. My Godzilla fan heart leaps whenever I play this stage.
Oh, now I have to get this game so that I can live out that as well. Because I am a big Goji fan.
Night step.
Oh, and Ari, since you're also this on an unrelated note, since you're a huge Weird Al fan, there's a scene in Kron that you are going to absolutely love that you're involved with.
Oh my god, that gives me all the more reason to watch it as soon as possible.
Yeah, it is. You're going to absolutely love this scene.
So in case you're not following, like, why we're piloting the mech, the reactor core for this entire area is melting down due to the demon invasion, and if it explodes, it'll wipe out the entire city. So Doom Guy gets into his mech and grabs the reactor core. He's going to find a place to safely dispose of it before it explodes. And knowing Doom Guy, it's not going to be very safe, and there's still going to be big explosions.
Yep.
There's going to be loud noises!
Excuse me.
I've never seen an Anchorman movie all the way through, but that's like one of my favorite.
I've only seen Anchorman 2, and from what I've heard, I'm missing out by not seeing the first one, and instead seeing the second one, because from what everyone has told me, Anchorman 2 is just Anchorman 1, but worse.
Yeah,
Anchorman 2 was just garbage. I saw Anchorman 2 and I just absolutely despised it.
Yeah, I've never, like I said, I've never seen either movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of both, and from what I've heard, the first one is definitely the best.
There's another detail of these mech stages that I really like. The tanks and stuff shoot at you, but cannot harm you. Just like in a kaiju movie!
Yep. Yep.
It's gonna blow!
It is gonna blow, but we gotta take out a kaiju-sized boss!
It's gonna blow!
If it's gonna blow, it needs to take me out to dinner first.
Okay, you know what, Ari, just for that crack. Oh god, where is it? Oh, it's good. Here.
Finish your threat.
There, that's for you.
Now, how to kill two birds with one stone. Two very demonic birds.
Easy.
What was that from?
It's from, it's a fan animation based on one of Korone from Hololive streams. So yeah, he shoves the reactor into its mouth and Sparta kicks it into the pit.
This is Doom Dark Ages!
Nice, of course.
Demonic activity is surging. The Creed has requested an immediate report.
Return to the Sentinel barracks.
Sentinel HQ is under attack.
You know, she looks like an actress. I can't name her off the top of my head.
Meanwhile...
Back in town.
You may recognize some of these Diag guys as being human versions of the Hell Priests from Doom Eternal.
chamber. I told you. I cannot open it.
Oh, looks like Kier went live.
Yeah, he's supposed to stream today at 10 o'clock. So that would be now.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I looked at his schedule only briefly.
All of this was just 3 levels.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, this has got a lot of action in it, but it's got brief lulls in the action so it doesn't get overwhelming or boring, but at the same time it doesn't get dull. Be gone, bot. I don't like this HUD. It looks it looks like it's from an RPG game. Oh, I mean, you can customize the HUD a little bit. Mainly like you can turn off like certain markers in the HUD. You can adjust like the font size and spacing. I've got high contrast mode on, so like there's a shadow behind the numerical values, so it's easier to make out. You can add or remove threat detectors to show where enemy attacks are coming from. You can change the weapon reticle. Please don't just stand/hide in corners while playing this game. I'm assuming that's a DSP reference, and trust me, I won't. I like to rip and tear. Like this paper thing, I don't know the name of this ancient thing. One detail I like is, where is it? Might be under, game settings instead of UI settings. Where the fuck is it? Oh yeah, the face avatar style. By default it looks like this, but you can change it to the classic Doom face. Which is what I've got it set as.
I was wondering what that was all about.
Yeah, in the original Doom, this little face would be down in your status bar, representing your player character's, current status. And as you took more damage, you would get more bloodied.
Huh. Interesting.
That was also, our first look at, parchment. Okay. That's the word you were looking for. I mean, it's supposed to look like it's from medieval times, so parchment style, aesthetic for, the menu. It works.
Yeah.
Anyway, back in town.
No response.
I hear you messing with a transformographizer. Which one is it? Is it RID Prime?
Yes.
I figured. That thing's so fun to toy with.
It is. It really is.
So here's our MacGuffin of the game, the Heart of Argent. That's the thing that's in it's in the possession of the Sentinels and the Makers, and it's what the demons want. It's your standard, like, Doomsday artifact if it falls into the wrong hands. Nothing too complex, which, for Doom, I appreciate it not being too complex. Because, Doom famously, the original Doom at least, had all of its story elements cut out, except for, like, a couple splash screens at the beginning and end of each chapter. Because the lead programmer of the game, and therefore basically the lead designer of the game, John Carmack, even though they had a dude on staff named Tom Hall, whose job was to write the story, John Carmack elected to ignore the story because, according to him, and this is one of my favorite quotes in video game history, story in games is like story in a porno. You expect it to be there, but it shouldn't distract from the gameplay.
I don't know what to say to that.
It's weird, especially considering that he and all the other people on the original id team were avid fans of D&D.
Yeah, that doesn't track.
Like the entire idea for Doom being themed around demons comes from a D&D campaign they did, which ended catastrophically when they accidentally opened a portal to hell.
But I'll be back.
And the demons wiped out the entire party.
Demons have entered the facility.
That definitely sounds like a really bad night.
Yeah.
To play D&D.
What a horrible night to play D&D. So now we've got challenges that we can do. Challenges vary from stage to stage. There's 3 per stage. They give you rewards for completing them. And our challenges for this stage are... kill 40 demons, find 150 gold, and execute a 3-hit melee combo 3 times. This is also the stage where here it is, the Skull Crusher Pulverizer. The gun that uses skulls as ammo.
Nice. Loves it.
I see.
Ready to see it in action?
Ready. Oh my. The destruction.
It's like the spread gun in Contra if it were powered by skulls. And you know, if Contra were an FPS. And there is a buff that you can get for it as its first upgrade, which basically gives it a charge the longer that you fire it, which not only makes it deal more damage, but also makes you move faster while firing it. If I'm not wrong, the creator of Doom... Oh, I just saw your message about that, Helton. I'm a little behind on chat, because I am very easily distracted. The fun of having both autism and ADHD. But going back to that John Carmack quote about story in games being like story in a porno, I think Matt McMuscles, the What Happened guy, you know, formerly of Best Friends Play, put it best when he said, John Carmack is an expert on that because he has seen a lot of porn. Okay. And I love the way he illustrated that by like taking a stock photo, like a stock image of John Carmack at his computer, and photoshopping an image of Hitomi Tanaka onto the screen.
Oh.
As a Hitomi Tanaka enjoyer, I appreciate that reference, Matt McMuscles.
Commander Thera, the demonic presence around the priest signal is getting larger.
I'm back with my coffee. You guys are talking about porn again. We're talking about the quote from John Carmack. Tangentially talking about porn, not directly. Because otherwise that would be potentially TOS violating.
Yeah, blame, if anything, blame John Carmack.
Yeah, blame John Carmack for making the comparison to porn in the first place. And quoting it, quoting it so it could be preserved for posterity's sake, as a point of reference for all discussions about the history of Doom. But yeah, if you don't know who Hitomi Tanaka is, look her up. She's a one of a kind.
I'll take your word for it.
I've also spoken with her on Twitter before. She's very nice and is trying to learn. She's taught herself English so she can interact with her overseas fans.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I even asked her on Twitter, like, how much English did you know, and how long have you been studying? And she said that she's self-taught.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I respect anyone who... Well, I respect anyone who learns enough of another language to be
Understand
able
their fans.
Well, just... I respect anyone who is dedicated enough to learning a second language to be able to just speak with people in another language, like Helton here speaking to us in English, even though it's not his first language and he's still learning it. I need to learn Korean to challenge Faker.
My mom has actually been learning Korean for the last 4 years, I'm gonna say. She's and she also cooks Korean food to just kind of get in touch with the culture. And the food she makes is amazing too. So
I bet Korean food's usually really good.
No, it is. Yeah, like one of my favorites that she makes is kimchi rice. Like, I did not think I would ever love kimchi, but I do now because we've been because she started cooking it, and it's like, wow, this stuff is actually really good, even though it stinks.
I mean, it makes sense why it stinks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's literally a bunch of fermenting cabbage inside of a box buried in the ground. It kind of makes sense. At least that's the traditional.
That's the traditional way to make it. We have technology. Yeah. Proceeds to slam the computer against the desk.
It didn't work.
That whole episode has so many quotable moments in it that came up during that came up a lot during the Patrick Star game stream, which I am going to return to that sometime. I need to find a time where Kier and I can stream together because he wants to be on board from all of those since he bought it for me.
Yeah.
I actually would like to be involved, but that's up to you, dude. Because
it also depends on what day of the week, because that'll have to work around your schedule too.
That's true. But I've been getting a lot more early shifts lately, so I probably could start being more available for streams if you want me to join.
Yeah,
because
like my main thing about, like, apart from, you know, my best friends like Kier and JKR and Miles, who, like, I will always have on regardless because they're my best friends and we vibe so well. Like, I try to, for like people that I'm not as close with and haven't collaborated with as much, I try to bring them on streams where I feel like they would get the most out of, like, commentating on it, as opposed to just bringing them in willy-nilly. That's why I tend to bring you on to, like, Transformers stuff, and why I've recently been bringing Red on for Devil May Cry.
Yeah. But, like, SpongeBob is my jam.
I'll bring you on board for some Spinge Bill.
Yeah, Spinge Bill.
Are you not familiar with Spinge Bill?
No, I am not. I'm not familiar with that. What
It's
is that?
it's a term that originates in the early YouTube poop community, from the days when Viacom was like aggressively copyright striking anything that used their footage, even if it was because like they were, you know, claiming that anything that used clips of Viacom produced media was piracy, and they were trying to like sue YouTube over it, and that's basically what led to the copyright hellscape that is YouTube today. That caused them to implement their content ID system and automate everything and all that as part of the settlement. But long story short, people in the early YouTube poop community would try to make SpongeBob YouTube poops, and they would get automatically flagged and taken down by Viacom for using SpongeBob footage, and just for having SpongeBob in the title. They found that at the time, if you just didn't put SpongeBob in the title, Viacom wouldn't seek it out and take it down because they were just looking up SpongeBob on YouTube.
Oh no!
So they came up. They came up with Spinge Bill.
Spinge Bill me Bob.
Spinge Bill me Bob.
And that just stuck in the YouTube poop community as the go-to name for SpongeBob YouTube poops, even after that problem was solved.
Just because it was funny. Okay.
It's an inherently funny name.
Spinge Bill.
And that led to some people coming up with other, you know, royalty-free names for SpongeBob characters if they had to put them in the title. Like
what was Patrick's?
Rick Pat.
Actually, I have seen that before. Rick Pat.
Squidward, that varies, but a common one was Squidward or Squid Person.
Speaking of which, I did see a squid person at ACIN this past weekend.
Dare I ask?
I don't know why, but it was some girl was dressed up as Squidward, and I was just like, I didn't get a photo, unfortunately, but you know, I was a little too weirded out by that costume, to be honest with you.
I saw there was a Doodle Bob there, and that made me happy.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, SpongeBob means we are SpongeBob as kids, and then we're Squidward as adults.
Yeah.
So, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And the other commonly used name in YouTube poops for a SpongeBob character was for Mr. Krabs, they would call him Mr. Crustacean. And they would spell crustacean with a K.
Yep.
And if the title involved the Krusty Krab, they would call it the Crust-like Crustacean.
The crust-white crustacean?
Crust-like Crustacean.
Oh, okay. Crust-like crustacean. Okay.
Yeah.
You got corny ears, mister?
Do you have corn in your ears, mister? But yeah, SpongeBob YouTube poops were a big part of my formative years on the internet. And still some of my go-to today.
One of my formative videos that I grew up watching were Potter Puppet Pals.
Potter Puppet Pals. Neil Cicierega factors into everyone's internet childhood somehow.
What's that?
Neil Cicierega always factors into somebody's early years on the internet in some way. He's just ever present. Like, he started out with Lemon Demon and the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. He made...
That's the same guy?
Yep, he invented the animutations genre, which morphed into misheard lyrics. He created Potter Puppet Pals. He makes the Mouth series of mashup albums. He made Brody Quest, which is another popular internet animation.
Because Lemon Demon, the Ultimate Showdown was another one.
Yeah, he has just been on the internet for decades and shaped internet culture in the process to the point where he describes himself in terms of like what his job or like what his job is as internet person.
Internet person.
Yes.
Internet person.
I am internet person.
And he's still he's still making he's still making music. He's making comedic, like, surrealist shorts on YouTube. Doing a lot of stuff.
Like Robert Benfer with fish stick sandwich burrito.
Oh, speaking of Robert Benfer, Robert Benfer was another formative person in my early internet years with his Clay World series.
Huh.
That's what he made before he was on YouTube, and therefore before he branched out into like live action skits and music.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
I
friends.
think I've ever heard of Clay World, actually.
Clay World was his longest running series, and he did put an end to it, but it was like also his most successful to the point where he made a feature film out of it and gave it a grand 30-minute finale. It was just like stupid, surrealist, absurdist comedy shorts, claymations that he made in his bedroom of like these little claymen that he made acting stupid and getting killed in entertaining ways. Think like Happy Tree Friends, but not as cringe-inducing with the violence, and not like putting up a kid-friendly facade, and with dialogue.
Hey, Ari.
Oh yeah, because Happy Tree Friends didn't have dialogue. I forgot about that.
JKR's tried to say something.
Sorry.
Ari, can you I need you to be my secret snipper.
Why do you need a secret snipper?
I unfortunately I cannot remember the rest of the bit. I just know the secret snipper bit.
Yeah, it was like, hey John, what you doing with a snipper riffle? I need you to be my secret snipper. Why do you need a secret snipper? I can't remember beyond that.
Sent me the video for that, actually.
Yeah, yeah, I quote Clay World a lot because it's got so many just good one-liners and stupid jokes in it. Like,
Shiny gem.
Yes, that's a ruby, which is another thing that's used for weapon upgrades. It's basically another tier of currency, which these are spread in specific places in the levels and also sometimes awarded for more difficult level challenges. But yeah, one of the Clay World things that I often quote is from one of my favorite Clay World shorts, Hot Dog Job, where the hot dog stand owner, like the manager who's making the guy running the stand sell hot dogs that no one will buy because they taste terrible. Like, for no reason, he's got absurdly long arms. And it's, like, never addressed. But he's like, listen, kid, there are 3 types of people in this world. One type of person. And then he just turns around and walks away without saying anything.
That was really informative, boss. I'll keep that in my repertoire of knowledge.
And another one from Hot Dog Job is like there's one Clayman who's walking down the side of the table and comes by the hot dog stand. And as he's walking, he's singing this little song that goes, macaroni, 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 put the cheese in the noodles, and what do you get? Macaroni, 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 put the cheese in the noodles, and what do you get? Hey, you're selling hot dogs! I love hot dogs! I sure could go for a hot dog. Yeah, I think I'll buy a hot dog right now. Macaroni, 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 macaroni. Put the cheese in the noodles, and what do you get? And he just walks away without buying a hot dog. And the hot dog stand guy is like, hey, I sell hot dogs here, you moron.
Macaroni. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
That's gonna be living rent free in my head for a week. Oh man.
And another one from one of the earliest Clay World shorts, which got a remake in Robert Benford's more modern Clay World style, was from the short Henry's Shotgun. Where, like, the Claymen are just standing around, and then the one named Henry shows up, and he's like, hey guys, check it out, I got a shotgun. Where'd you get it? Somewhere.
That's not sus at all.
Let's see. Hey, Ari, do you want to play a game of Funny Sticks?
How do you play funny? Oh, I could go for a game of Funny Sticks. You go fetch the spikes, and I'll go get the apples.
You got it.
That's another Clay World thing. Funny Sticks. We don't know what the apples are for, but the sticks are for, like, impaling one player with them. One at a time. We don't know how Funny Sticks is won, or how it's played, beyond, you know, impaling them with the sticks. And, you know, something involving apples that we never see, and that if you take the sticks out of you, you're considered a cheater. And that it's more fun and that it's funner with more people.
I don't think that the creator even knows.
Like, he did, for a lot of Clay World, Robert Benford would not go into it with a pre-written script. He would just make it up as he went along.
So it was just completely,
it was just stream of consciousness.
You know, honestly,
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the best kind of humor is done like that. In my opinion. It's like Monty Python kind of humor.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, she turned me into a newt.
A newt? I got better.
You know, my favorite Monty Python bit is the argument clinic. That's just
yes.
That is very funny. That is one of my favorites.
My favorite is the dead parrot sketch.
One of my favorites is the crunchy frog sketch. That one is hilarious. That and Confuse a Cat.
He's not dead. He's pining for the fjords. Pining for the fjords.
But we all have to admit that the peak of Monty Python was definitely Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes,
that was
arguably only matched by Life of Brian.
I've never seen that movie. I've had a couple of instances to watch it, but I don't know. I just always picked something else to watch instead. But it's on my list of movies that I need to watch.
Life of Brian is great. It it was controversial when it came out because people saw it as like,
Oh, yeah.
it's making fun of Christianity. It's like, not really. It's making fun of like, it's not really making fun of Christianity. It's the joke is that like people think that Brian is the Messiah when he's clearly not.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
It's
want
more
to be
making
seen
fun
as
of-
he doesn't want to be seen as the Messiah. It's making fun of how people will latch on to like any person as like a person that they will deify and worship, whether they want it or deserve it or not.
Yeah, no, that's I have a friend back in Texas who's like, and I don't make any I don't hide it. You guys all know that I'm a very devoted Christian.
Yes.
But like and so is he, but he loves that movie because he sees it the same way as you do. It's just making fun of the fact that mob rule takes over. When they want something, they'll fight. They'll basically fight even the person that doesn't want it for them to be what they want them to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's part of the reason why I kind of want to watch it, because like, I've just seen some things from it that are just hilarious.
It's also a lot raunchier than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, it's rated R for a reason, partly because there's a scene of full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
It's not a sexy scene,
Monty
and
Python is known for that.
It's not a sexy scene of full frontal nudity, and that makes it funnier.
Like, is it like a guy? Or,
It is both Brian and his girlfriend just after having sex.
Oh my goodness. I think I know which scene you're talking about. I've seen like a review on the movie, and I think I like saw like a brief bit of that, but they like censored it.
Yeah. And there's the whole thing. Yeah. There's the whole thing with Biggest Dickus.
Yes. That's also another reason why I want to see that movie.
One of my an underrated bit in there is like a Roman centurion comes across like a person that's graffitiing a wall. And instead of like, attacking him or arresting him, he's like, no, you spelled this all wrong. Here's how you do it.
Oh man. I love British humor. It's so dry and stupid. Like, most of my formative years were spent watching Monty Python and Mr. Bean. Those were like my top comedy watches when I was a kid.
I've never seen Mr. Bean.
Really?
Yep.
Honestly, if you are going to start watching Mr. Bean, I would suggest watching the original series.
Okay.
And don't watch the movies. They all suck. They're not good.
Except for A Great Holiday.
Yeah, except for Mr. Bean Goes on Holiday. That one was pretty decent. It's got William Dafoe in it too, which is really
William
fun.
Dafoe's always a plus.
With him is golden.
Yeah, he plays like a disgruntled, narcissistic filmmaker that he makes movies that just star him, and he's not doing really well. It's so funny. You really should watch the original series and then watch that movie. It's so funny.
The closest I've seen to Mr. Bean, and this does not count in any way whatsoever, is a fan animation of a bit on Oni Plays, where they were doing an improv of like just a Mr. Bean improv, and it was Mr. Bean at a Whole Foods.
Mr. Bean at a Whole Foods.
Yes. And given that,
amazing.
Given that, Mr. Bean doesn't talk, and that this is all improv over, audio because it's a Let's Play.
Well, Mr. Bean doesn't talk a lot of the time. He has maybe one or two. He says like one sentence each episode, if any. But
okay.
Most of the time, yes, it is like a silent comedy style.
So like
Charlie Chaplin.
I'll have to send you that fan animation because the animator did it in the style of the Mr. Bean cartoon.
Oh, okay, I see.
That was another mini boss, and now we've got armor upgrade. So I can hold more armor. We also, we picked up a new gun a little bit ago that I haven't mentioned. The Rail Spike Impaler.
Ooh.
It's
the one that you have equipped right now?
Yes, it's a variant. It's in the same class as the Shredder. It fires slower, but, and carries less shots. But you can deal headshots for extra damage with it, and its shots are more powerful. Just like we'll be picking up the traditional super shotgun later, where that one holds less ammo than the regular shotgun and has a longer and you have to reload it after every shot. But it deals massive damage and has a wider radius. I also upgraded my shotgun, so not only does it deal burn damage, but it fires in 3-round bursts now.
Ooh. Nice.
So basically, his shotgun can fire in spurts. If it shoots ya, it's gonna hurt.
Oh my gosh. It's like what was that line that Strong Bad said? It's both impressive and makes me uncomfortable.
This is impressive, disturbing, and makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, that was from one of the Halloween costume reviews, or fanstooms as they call them.
Mm-hmm.
Where every year around Halloween,
watching those videos.
Yeah, they still do those every year, but there's a couple that they haven't posted to the YouTube channel yet, so they're still exclusive to the Homestar Runner website.
Is that it? I thought that the website was taken down.
No, they still have it up. It's just since Flash doesn't work anymore, it now runs under the work-in-progress Flash emulator, Ruffle.
Oh, okay.
So, like, everything that they upload to YouTube also gets uploaded to the website. And the website still hosts, like, all the old games. Except they also have, like, an itch.io page now where you can download the games instead of having to play them in your browser.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I need to download the Stinko Man game.
Yeah, the Stinko Man game, less than a week before Flash was discontinued, they finally released the final level for Stinko Man after, like, a decade of it missing its final level.
I remember seeing the commercial for it on YouTube on their channel.
Yeah, and that animation they had for the commercial is now plays whenever you boot up the game.
Really?
And
that's really cool.
Yeah, not only does the final level, give us our first look at the villain that they had been hiding for so long, which confirms, yes, he is a 20xd6 version of Coach Z, but it also gives us our first proper look outside of, like, a now non-canon version of a 20xd6 equivalent of marzipan.
Oh yeah, I think I remember.
Because like on the
I remember
20XT6
seeing something
homepage,
like that.
they had her Sailor Moon styled, whereas in the Stinko Man game, now that she has a proper appearance in Stinko Man media, she appears as like, you know, looking more like a hippie, looking more marzipan-like instead of just looking like Sailor Moon and
Okay.
Marzipan's attire, and she uses her guitar as like a musical weapon.
Yeah, because I remember the menu style for the 20XT6 thing that there was like, I think it was it tunes or something, where if you did that then Marzipan would show up. Definitely.
Yes, the Sailor Moon styled Marzipan would show up,
Sailor
and
Moon
she would do Chun-Li's victory animation from Street Fighter 2 and say "Yatta!" Oh, I pinned him to the wall.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know you could do that with the Impaler. And there goes that guy.
You impaled him off that ledge. Is that the shredder?
That was
That you were
the
just using?
accelerator, which is this game's plasma gun.
Ooh.
This is my shotgun with the 3-round burst and burn damage, making it one of the most overpowered weapons in the game, and it's your starting weapon.
Well, yeah.
Or at least overpowered for these early parts of the game. I haven't gotten very far, so I'm sure you get more stuff later on. Like, I know you get a rocket launcher at one point. And of course you get the BFC, the big fucking crossbow.
I still find it hilarious that that they got away with calling it the BFG years ago because they technically just didn't spell it out.
Yep. Yeah, you can get away with a lot of swears as long as you don't spell them out. You can get away with a lot of obscene stuff in video games as long as you make it discreet. Like, you want to know an absolutely cursed bit of, obscene stuff that's in a SpongeBob game?
What? I'm actually kind of curious.
You know the original version of Battle for Bikini Bottom, not the rehydrated version. Because you know
I played that game years ago, but I never got around to
It's okay because
you finished it.
You see it as soon as the first level, and this is something that like you weren't supposed to notice, and it wasn't intended as like a dirty joke. It was just like something the developers came up with for texturing that they hoped no one would notice because even they were disgusted by it, but it just happened to look good. For like the trees in the game, mostly in Jellyfish Fields, if you look at the trunks of the trees, the texture for the tree trunks is a photo of a log of shit.
Really?
Yes.
I have to look this up now.
The developers confirmed that's what it was, and they were able to get away with it because when it was like applied to the tree trunks, you couldn't tell immediately that it was a log of shit. And the only reason they used a photo of a log of shit as a texture for the tree trunks was because any other texture they tried to apply didn't look good.
I'm looking this up.
I swear to you, this is true. I couldn't come up with something this unhinged.
Oh, that is rank.
You hate that you hate that you have that knowledge now, don't you?
I do. Why have you burdened me with such a nasty...
So what you're saying is this is impressive, disturbing, and makes you uncomfortable?
Exactly. It's impressive, disturbing, and makes me uncomfortable. Oh, man.
And there's another one for another
Ooh,
SpongeBob game that's that wasn't a new weapon, it was a skin for a weapon.
Ah.
But in another SpongeBob game, SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge for the PS1, the developers of the game hated working on a SpongeBob game. And the way they vented their frustration was by drawing NSFW art of the SpongeBob characters in, like, BDSM situations. And they included it on the game disc contents hidden away inside, like, a compressed data file that you're not supposed to be able to see.
Wow.
That is in an official SpongeBob game, technically, if you count, like, on-disc content that's not accessible in-game.
That is... impressive, disturbing, and makes me uncomfortable. Actually, it's not really impressive. It's just disturbing and makes me uncomfortable.
And, like, PS1 games, because, like, they were on regular old CDs, and, you know, CD drives for computers were just starting to come out, and be, like, accessible at consumer-grade levels. Developers sometimes hid a lot of stuff in, like, the dummy layer of a PlayStation disc that was used to pad out the disc size so you couldn't make a one-to-one copy. Which meant, like, a lot of times they would fill it with bizarre shit.
Is that the thing that looks like the vinyl disc? On those old, oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the PlayStation 2. Yeah, the PlayStation 2 had, like, these black discs.
No, that was the PS1.
Discs.
That was the PS1.
That was the PS1?
The black color of it was just a dye that they added in, like, manufacturing of the discs to make it clear to the consumer that you're not supposed to put it in a CD player.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because people really were that stupid back then. Because if you put a disc that has a data layer on it, or a data track on it, because it was burned like an audio CD, and you played it in, like, your home stereo system, it would blow out the speakers and damage your system and potentially damage your hearing. Because it's playing, like, data as an audio track.
Huh.
After about 10 minutes of me trying to figure out what the fuck went wrong with my headphones, I am back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
I have no idea what happened. My headphones just stopped working for a brief moment, and, like, I had to, like, I don't know what I did. I was just like, I just did whatever I thought could work. I rebooted my laptop. I disconnected, like, I deleted the things from the computer's, like, known audio sources, and then just tried to
like, drivers?
No, not the drivers, just, like, delete the pairing for Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so I just deleted the pairing, and then tried rebooting, and after rebooting and then just going in to, like, deeper in, I could actually get the damn things to pair. So finally I'm back. I don't know what happened. Just, like, did not, like, it just didn't. The headphones or the computer just did not like each other for whatever reason for a brief moment. I have no idea why.
Look, one of them or the other, or maybe both, depending on how toxic the relationship is, could just be tsundere.
Probably.
The whole, like, I don't
really...
The whole, like, I don't like you,
it's not
baka.
Like I don't like... It's not like I don't like putting music in your ears, baka.
Yeah, it was just weird, but I'm back and I got it fixed. Whatever it was, I fixed it. Don't know what I did. Don't know what happened. I know I just fixed it. I'm a technological wizard.
Technologic. Technologic. Anywho's it? Why is what?
Why is that familiar? The Technologic.
It's from a Daft Punk song called Technologic.
Oh, okay.
All right, here's our first kind of boss fight. Look at this guy.
Oh shit. Also, Chuck, have you tried not being tired?
This guy is a...
I've tried many times.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Vagary or Vagary or Vagery? I hope it's not Vagery. Champion. And these guys, you have to stun...
Vagary.
Vagary.
Oh, okay.
You have to stun them. You have to stun them by deflecting their attacks first, and then you can shoot at their unarmored bits to deal damage. Yes, I did have to phrase it that way.
My tenders. That's instantly where my brain went to.
Okay, Ari, you're the one who broke Chuck this time. I didn't do it this time.
I mean, I broke him both times tonight, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You are one ugly mother.
You are one ugly motherfucker.
And, I think that's going to be a, good ending point for tonight, because we've been live for about 3 hours, and I have a dentist appointment tomorrow I need to make sure I'm up in time for.
Actually, I think I need to be up early tomorrow, so this is, like, perfect.
And it means
you can watch your YouTube foop first.
Yeah, it also means you'll have to tune in on Friday to see the dragon. Because that's the next stage.
Ooh. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in for that.
Alrighty, that was Doom: The Dark Ages. This is about as far as I've gotten in my other playthroughs on various platforms, trying to get a functional version of this for streaming. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to both of my co-hosts for joining tonight. We are going to raid Kier if he is still live.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, he is. He is playing Final Fantasy VII, trying to finish up Disc 2. And I believe he also said that he is going after Emerald Weapon, one of the super bosses.
Nice.
Go give Kier a warm welcome. I started my outro a little bit early, so I won't repeat myself. See you guys Friday. Actually, no, tomorrow for Danganronpa. And then Friday is going to be more Doom Eternal. not Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages. I am tired as fuck.
Sleep, dude.
Until next time, unpleasant dreams.
Bye.
Well, we're the boys of Chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting
for us. Now we have to go.
Good night, everybody.